There is something happening right now, in this very moment, that you may not fully see yet, but you can feel it. Deep in your chest, somewhere between your heartbeat and your breath, there is a quiet knowing that today is not just another ordinary day. Something has shifted. Something has moved on your behalf. And the angels have asked me to bring this message directly to you, because what happened today in the spiritual realm concerns you, your home, and everyone you love. Before you do anything else, I need you to take a slow, deep breath. Let your shoulders drop. Let your hands rest. Because what you are about to hear is not something your mind conjured up, and it is not a coincidence that you found this video at this exact moment. The angels do not work in accidents. They work in precision. They work in timing. And the timing of this message, the very second your eyes landed on it, was already written long before you woke up this morning. You have been carrying something heavy. I want you to know that the angels see it. They have watched you move through your days with a kind of quiet strength that most people would never notice. But heaven notices everything. They have seen the nights when you lay in bed with your eyes wide open, your mind running through scenarios that frightened you. They have seen you pray over and over again for the same situation, wondering if your words were even reaching anywhere beyond the ceiling. They have seen you smile for the people around you while something inside you was quietly breaking. And they want you to know they have never looked away. Not for a single moment. But here is what I need to tell you, and I need you to hear this with every part of your being. There was a decree. A decree is a spiritual declaration, a kind of invisible sentence that had been written over your life and over your family. A plan designed to bring loss, separation, confusion, and pain into your household. This decree was not something you created. It was not punishment for anything you did wrong. It was an assignment, a coordinated spiritual attack meant to steal from you the things that matter most. Your peace, your health, your relationships, your sense of direction, your hope. And today, that decree was canceled, not weakened, not delayed, not paused, canceled, completely, permanently, and divinely revoked. The angels are asking me to tell you this clearly, because they know that what the enemy intended to finalize in your life over the coming days has already been interrupted by a divine intervention that you did not even know you needed. Something was supposed to happen to your family. Something was closing in. And before it could land, before it could touch the ground of your life, the hand of the Most High reached in and tore it apart. You need to understand what this means for tomorrow. Get ready, because tomorrow is not going to look like the yesterday you were dreading. Tomorrow is not going to carry the weight you were preparing yourself to endure. The angels are saying that what you were bracing for, that conversation you dreaded, that situation that seemed impossible, that door that appeared to be closing forever, has already been rerouted. Heaven has already intervened. And tomorrow, you are going to begin to see evidence of that intervention. Now, I want to take a moment to speak to your heart, because I know that some of you watching this right now are on the very edge of giving up. Not giving up on life, but giving up on the idea that things can still turn around. You have been in this waiting place for so long. You have believed and then doubted and then believed again and then felt the doubt creep back in like fog rolling over a quiet morning. You have told yourself that maybe things are just the way they are. Maybe this is just your life. Maybe healing is for other people and breakthrough is for other families. And miracles are for stories you read about but never actually live. I need to look directly into your heart right now and say, that thought is a lie. It has always been a lie. And the very fact that you are here, watching this, listening to these words, is proof that something in you has not given up. Something in you is still reaching. Something in you is still open. And the angels are saying that this openness, this tiny, persistent flame of faith that you have been protecting all this time, is exactly what allowed today's cancellation to happen. Your faith, even when it felt broken and small and barely alive, was enough. It was always enough. And because you kept going, because you did not fully close the door, because even in your darkest nights, you still whispered prayers and still hoped even when hope felt foolish, the angels were able to carry your case before the throne. And the answer that came back was final. What was decreed against your family has been overturned. I want to talk to you about your family specifically, because this message is not just about you as an individual. The angels are emphasizing your household. The people connected to you by love, by blood, by bond. Your children, if you have them. Your partner, your parents, your siblings, your closest friends who feel like family. The people whose names live in your heart. The people you pray for in the quiet moments. The people whose pain you carry. Even when they don't know you're carrying it, there has been an attack on your family unit. Maybe you have seen the signs of it. Tension in relationships that used to be peaceful. Distance where there used to be closeness. Conversations that turn into arguments without any real reason. A heaviness that settles over your home like a cloud that will not move. Maybe one of your children has been struggling in ways that worry you deeply. Maybe your relationship with someone you love has felt strained and fragile. Maybe there has been illness, or financial pressure, or a sense of instability that you cannot quite name but absolutely feel. The enemy's assignment was to divide what is meant to be united, to bring confusion into a home that is meant to be filled with clarity and peace, to plant seeds of fear, resentment, and isolation between the hearts that are supposed to beat in love together. And I want you to understand that the reason the attack has been so persistent is because what your family carries is significant. What your family is meant to do together, the impact, the legacy, the love, the healing that flows through your home, is a threat to the darkness. You do not attack what does not matter. And the enemy does not assign resources to families who pose no threat to his plans. Your family matters. Your home matters. The love inside your walls is something powerful and rare, and heaven has been protecting it. But today, the protection was elevated. Today was not just about maintenance, it was about restoration. Today was about the angels going in and dismantling the architecture of an assignment that had been building against your household for longer than you may realize. And as they did, as that decree was torn apart in the spiritual realm, something was released over your family, a blessing, a new beginning, a fresh wave of grace that is going to begin manifesting in the natural world, in the world you can see and touch and experience. Very soon, get ready for tomorrow. That is what the angels keep saying. Get ready. Because the version of tomorrow that the enemy planned for you has been replaced by the version that heaven designed. And these two versions look nothing alike. The tomorrow that was planned against you involved loss. The tomorrow that heaven has prepared for you involves restoration. The tomorrow that was decreed against your family involves separation. The tomorrow that God has written for you involves reunion, reconciliation, and renewed connection. The tomorrow that darkness intended carried grief and confusion. The tomorrow that the angels are ushering you toward carries clarity, peace, and a new sense of direction that is going to feel like a sunrise after the longest, darkest night you have ever known. I want to pause here and speak to those of you who have been dealing with a health situation, either your own or someone in your family. The angels are speaking very specifically about healing right now. There is someone watching this who has been afraid of a diagnosis, or who has been living with pain that does not seem to want to leave, or who has been watching someone they love struggle physically and feeling completely helpless. I need you to hear this. The decree of infirmity over your household has been broken. Healing is moving in your direction. It may not all happen overnight, but the momentum has shifted. The tide has turned. What was advancing has been stopped. And what was stopped? The restoration of health, the return of strength, the renewal of the body has been released. Different that right now. Let it land in your spirit. Because healing is not just a future event. It is a present reality in the spiritual realm, and it is making its way into the natural realm right now as you listen to these words. For those of you who have been struggling financially, carrying debt, worrying about provision, lying awake at night, wondering how things are going to work out, the angels want you to know that the financial attack on your family has also been addressed today. There was a decree of lack and scarcity that was operating over your household. It was designed to keep you always feeling like you were just barely surviving, always one step behind, always working hard without seeing the results you deserved. That decree has been canceled. Provision is being released. Doors that were shut are going to begin to open. Opportunities that seem to disappear are going to reappear in new and unexpected forms. And resources are going to come from directions you did not anticipate, because heaven does not always provide through the paths we were expecting. Get ready for provision. Get ready for the shift. It is closer than you think. I also want to speak about emotional healing, because for many of you, the deepest wound is not in your finances or even your physical body, it is in your heart. Some of you have been carrying grief for a very long time. Grief over a relationship that ended. Grief over a version of your life that did not turn out the way you hoped. Grief over a parent or a child or a friend who is no longer with you. Grief over your own younger self, the girl you used to be, the dreams you used to hold, the confidence you used to have before life taught you to be careful, to be quiet, to make yourself smaller. The angels are reaching into the places in your heart that you have kept closed off, even from yourself, and they are bringing the light of heaven into those rooms. The healing that happens there may feel tender, it may bring up tears, and if it does, let them come. Let them fall freely and without shame, because those tears are not a sign of weakness. They are a sign that something frozen inside you is beginning to thaw. Something that was locked away is finally being reached by warmth. And in that warmth, in that light, healing is happening. You are not too broken to be healed. You are not too far gone to be restored. You are not too old, too tired, too disappointed, or too complicated for the love of heaven to find you and put you back together. The angels are saying this with such tenderness right now. They see your heart, they know your story, and they are telling you that you are loved far beyond what your mind can comprehend, and that this love has never been conditional on your performance, your perfection, or your ability to hold it all together. You are loved simply because you are, and that love is what powered today's cancellation. That love is what dismantled the decree. That love is what is making tomorrow possible. Now, I want to talk about something that might feel a little vulnerable to admit, but the angels are bringing it up because it is important. Some of you have been feeling a deep sense of spiritual disconnection lately, like your prayers are hitting a ceiling, like the presence you used to feel so clearly has gone quiet, like you have been going through the motions of faith without feeling the reality of it underneath, like God is far away and you are not entirely sure why, but you have been afraid to say it out loud because it feels like a betrayal of your own belief. I want you to know that this feeling of disconnection is not evidence that you have been abandoned. It is evidence that you have been in a battle. When the enemy assigns a decree against someone, one of the most devastating tactics is to create a sense of spiritual isolation, to make you feel like your prayers are not reaching, like heaven has gone silent, like the connection you once felt has been severed. Because if he can make you feel alone in the spiritual sense, it is much easier to keep you from fighting back. But the silence you have felt was not abandonment, it was a veil. And today, that veil has been torn. The angels are breaking through the interference that was disrupting your spiritual communication. And what you are going to begin to experience in the days ahead is a renewed sense of presence, a renewed clarity in prayer, a renewed sense that you are heard and known and accompanied by forces far greater than anything that has ever tried to work against you. You are not alone. You have never been alone. And the proof of that is sitting right here, in this moment, in the fact that this message found you at exactly the right time. Part 2. Continuation. Approx 3,500 words. Get ready for tomorrow. The decree affecting your family has been canceled today. I want to stay with you in this moment a little longer, because there is more that the angels want you to receive. Not just to hear with your ears, but to absorb into the deepest part of who you are. Because this message is not meant to be something you watch and then forget by the time the next hour begins. This message is meant to mark you, to shift something permanent inside you, to become a turning point you look back on one day and say, that was the day everything began to change. And it will, if you receive it. If you open your hands and your heart right now and say, yes, I am willing to believe that this is real. I am willing to trust that today something happened for me. I am willing to get ready for the tomorrow that heaven has already prepared. The angels want to talk to you about readiness, because that word, ready, is very intentional in this message. Getting ready is not passive. It is not simply sitting back and waiting for blessings to fall on you like rain without ever stepping outside. Getting ready is an active internal posture. It is a decision you make in your spirit that says, I am aligning myself with what heaven has declared over my life. I am positioning myself to receive what has already been released on my behalf. I am no longer living in the reality the enemy tried to write for me. I am stepping into the one that God designed. And the first part of getting ready is releasing what you were carrying into tomorrow that no longer belongs there. The fear, the dread, the rehearsed disappointment, the protective pessimism that you developed over time because being hurt again felt unbearable, and so you started expecting the worst so that the impact would be smaller if it came. The angels see that armor you built, and they understand why you built it. Life has not always been gentle with you. People have not always kept their promises. Hope has not always been rewarded in the timeline you were counting on. And so somewhere along the way, a part of you decided that hoping too much was dangerous. But hope was never your enemy, and the angels are asking you today to let hope back in. Not the fragile, desperate hope that clings to outcomes and collapses when things do not go as planned, but the deep-rooted, unshakable hope that knows heaven is working even when the earth does not yet show it. The kind of hope that says, I do not know exactly how this is going to unfold, but I know who holds tomorrow, and that is enough. That is more than enough. This kind of hope is not naive. It is not the hope of someone who has never been through anything. It is the hope of someone who has been through the fire and come out the other side, still standing, still reaching, still believing that the story is not over. And that is exactly who you are. You are someone who has been through things that would have broken many people, and yet here you are, still watching, still listening, still searching for something to hold on to. And the angels want you to know that this tenacity, this refusal to fully stop believing, is one of the most powerful spiritual forces you carry. So get ready. Get ready by releasing the old narrative. The one that said you were too late, too damaged, too ordinary, too far behind for things to truly change. The angels are declaring over you today that narrative is over. It has served its purpose. It kept you humble. It kept you searching. It kept you from becoming complacent, but it no longer fits who you are becoming. And who you are becoming is someone who walks into tomorrow not weighed down by the decree that was written against them, but lifted by the declaration that heaven has spoken in their place. I want to speak now about the children in your life, because the angels are emphasizing this strongly. Whether these are your biological children, children in your family, children you mentor, or the child that still lives inside you, the younger version of yourself that needed things it never received, there is a special anointing being released over the next generation connected to you. One of the most devastating parts of the decree that was operating over your household was its intent to pass down pain. Generational patterns of fear, lack, emotional distance, self-doubt, and spiritual confusion are not accidents. They are inheritances of darkness, passed from one generation to the next when no one steps in to break the cycle. And I want you to understand that part of what happened today, part of what was canceled, was this generational thread. The angels broke it. Today, on your behalf and on behalf of the children connected to you, this means that what your parents struggled with and could not overcome does not have to define what your children will struggle with. The pattern that repeated in your family for generations, the pattern of heartbreak, or financial instability, or addiction, or emotional numbness, or broken relationships, that pattern has been interrupted. Heaven reached into the generational line and cut the cord, and what flows forward from here is different. It is cleaner. It is freer. It carries the potential for something new to be established in your family that has never existed before. You may be the first person in your family to experience this kind of breakthrough. You may be the one the angels chose, not because you are the most qualified or the most perfect, but because you were the one who kept praying, kept seeking, kept holding the door open just enough for heaven to walk through. And your willingness to receive this message today, your openness to believe that something has shifted, is part of how the breakthrough becomes anchored in the natural world. This is your moment, not just for yourself, but for the ones who come after you, for the children who will grow up in a home where the atmosphere is different, where the spirit of fear has been replaced by a spirit of peace and trust and love, for the generations that will carry your name and your legacy forward. You are breaking something for them today. And that is one of the most profound things a person can do with their life. To be willing to be the one who says, the cycle stops here. The pattern ends with me. Something new begins in my family through me. Let that settle into your spirit. Let it give you strength for whatever today and tomorrow require. Now I want to speak about relationships. because this is where so many of the wounds live. The angels are aware of a specific relationship in your life, one that has caused you confusion, grief, or a deep sense of unresolved pain. It may be a romantic relationship. It may be a relationship with a parent or a child. It may be a friendship that ended in ways you still do not fully understand. It may be a relationship with yourself, the ongoing struggle to feel worthy of love, to feel like you are enough, to feel like the people who matter most truly see you and choose you. Whatever relationship this is, the angels are speaking into it today. They are not promising that every broken relationship will be magically restored overnight. Because sometimes the most loving thing heaven does is close a door that was diminishing you so that a better one can open. But they are saying that the confusion you have felt around this relationship is being cleared. The clarity you have been asking for is coming. The healing that you need, whether it comes through restoration or through release, is moving towards you. And for those of you who have been in a season of deep loneliness, feeling unseen, uncelebrated, misunderstood, or overlooked by the people around you, the angels want to speak something tender and specific to you. They see you. Heaven sees you. And they are saying that the isolation you have felt in this season was not a permanent state. It was a preparation. Seasons of aloneness, as painful as they are, can be profound seasons of inner building, of getting clear on who you are, of releasing what does not belong to the next chapter of your life, of becoming someone new enough to receive what is coming. What is coming is connection, real connection, the kind that feeds your soul instead of draining it, the kind where you feel fully known and fully loved in the same breath, the kind where you no longer have to make yourself smaller or louder or different to belong. The angels are clearing the path for these connections. Old things are being moved out of the way. New alignments are being arranged. And the people who are meant to walk beside you in this next season of your life are already being prepared, even as you sit here listening to these words. Get ready to be found. Get ready to be seen. Get ready for the kind of love and community and belonging that you may have stopped believing was available for you. It is available. It has always been available. And it is drawing closer now. I also want to take a moment to speak about your purpose, because for many of you, one of the most painful things about this season has been the feeling that your life is not matching what you were made for. You have a sense, deep in your spirit, even if you cannot fully articulate it, that you were created for something meaningful, that there is a contribution only you can make, a kind of impact that the world needs from you specifically, a gift, a calling, a reason that goes beyond the daily routine you have been living, and yet it has felt out of reach, like there are too many obstacles between where you are and where you sense you are supposed to be, too many responsibilities, too many limitations, too much of your energy consumed by surviving to have anything left for thriving. Too many voices telling you that you are too much, or not enough, or too late, or too ordinary for anything extraordinary to come through you. The decree that was canceled today was also an attack on your purpose. The enemy knew what you were made for, and he has been working to keep you too distracted, too depleted, too discouraged to step into it. But the cancellation of that decree means the obstacles are being addressed, the confusion is being cleared, and what is emerging in its place is a sense of direction, not necessarily a detailed roadmap, but a nudge, a knowing, a quiet inner voice that is going to begin speaking to you more clearly in the days ahead, pointing you toward the next right step in the direction of what you were made for. You do not have to have it all figured out today. You just have to be willing to take the next step when it becomes clear, and it is going to become clear. The angels are working on this. Heaven is arranging things. The pieces that need to fall into place are already in motion. And tomorrow, the tomorrow that heaven has prepared, is one where you are going to feel, even if just in a small and subtle way, a renewed sense of direction. A renewed sense that your life has meaning and that meaning is accessible to you, not just in theory, but in practice. Trust that. Follow that. And when the next nudge comes, follow it again. This is how you step into purpose, not in one giant leap, but in 1,000 small acts of obedience to the voice inside you that knows. As we begin to move toward the close of this message, I want to give you something to carry with you, something practical, something that the angels have specifically asked me to share with you because they know that messages are only as powerful as the fruit they produce in your daily life. Tonight, before you sleep, find a quiet moment. It does not have to be long. 5 minutes is enough. And in that moment, speak out loud, even if your voice trembles, even if it feels strange, even if no one else is in the room to hear. Speak out loud and say, I receive the cancellation of every decree that was spoken against my family. I receive the restoration that heaven has prepared for tomorrow. I release fear and I choose faith. I release dread and I choose hope. I release the old story and I open my heart to the new one. Say it like you mean it. Say it even when a part of you is still not sure. Say it especially when doubt is present, because faith is not the absence of doubt. It is the choice to speak truth louder than the doubt. And when you speak those words tonight, know that the angels are listening. Know that heaven is responding. Know that something is being sealed in the spiritual realm through your declaration, because words matter. The decree that was written against you was spoken into existence, and it has power because words have power. And the same principle works in reverse. The words of faith that you speak are not empty sounds. They are seeds. They are declarations. They are keys that unlock things in the spiritual realm that then manifest in the natural world. And when you speak tonight, you are partnering with what heaven has already done today. You are agreeing with the cancellation. You are saying yes to the new beginning, and then sleep. Rest. Let your body and your mind and your spirit recover from the long season of fighting. You have been working so hard, not just in the physical world, but in the spiritual one. You have been carrying the weight of battle in ways you may not have even fully recognized. And the angels want you to know that tonight you can lay that down. Tonight, the battle that has been raging over your household has been won. The outcome has been decided. And you can rest in that last sleep like someone who is protected. Sleep like someone whose family is being watched over. Sleep like someone who is waking up tomorrow into a different reality than the one they went to bed dreading. Because that is the truth. That is what is real. And tomorrow, when you open your eyes, I want you to open them with expectation, with curiosity, with the willingness to notice the signs that heaven sends you, the unexpected kindness, the door that opens where you least expected it, the phone call that brings good news, the moment of peace that arrives in the middle of what should have been a stressful situation, the quiet feeling in your chest that things are going to be okay. Those are not coincidences. They are confirmations. They are the evidence of heaven's work showing up in the natural world. And as you begin to notice them, and you will begin to notice them, let them build your faith. Let each one remind you that what was spoken over you today was real, and it is unfolding, and the best of it is still ahead. I want to close this message with something the angels asked me to say directly to you. Not to everyone watching, to you specifically. The one who made it to the end of this message. The one who felt something stir inside while listening. The one who maybe cried a little, or felt a warmth spread through your chest, or felt the strange and holy sensation of being known. You are not here by accident. You were guided here by forces of love that have been surrounding you for your entire life. Every twist in your story, every detour, every disappointment, every delay, none of it was wasted. All of it was being woven together into something that is only now beginning to reveal its full shape. And the shape of it is beautiful, even the parts that hurt, even the parts you would never have chosen, even the parts that seemed like pure loss at the time. They were all threads in a tapestry that heaven has been crafting with your name on it. And today, a new thread was added, a bright one, a thread of cancellation, of restoration, of freedom, of new beginning, a thread that changes the whole image, not just for you, but for your children, for your family, for the generations that will come after you. A thread that says, this is where the story turned. This is where heaven stepped in. This is where the decree was broken and the blessing began. You are standing at a turning point, not a small one, a significant one, the kind that marks a before and an after in a person's life, and the angels are cheering for you. They are celebrating what happened today on your behalf. They are standing in anticipation of what you are about to experience. They are filled with a joy that overflows at the thought of you walking in tomorrow, the tomorrow that was always meant for you, the tomorrow that was protected from every plan that sought to steal it. So get ready. Get ready with faith in your heart and hope in your eyes. Get ready with gratitude for what has already been done and expectation for what is still being prepared. Get ready to see your family healed, your relationships restored, your purpose clarified, your heart made whole. Get ready to experience a peace that surpasses understanding and a joy that comes from deep, deep down. Not from circumstances, but from the unshakable knowledge that you are loved, you are covered, you are seen, and you are walking forward under the open sky of heaven's favor. The decree has been canceled. The new beginning has been declared. And tomorrow, the evidence begins to arrive. Welcome to your new season. The angels have been waiting to bring you here. And the best, oh, the very best, is still yet to come.